Hi, welcome to Alien Space Talks. My name's Andy. I'll be guiding you through this educational podcast and these videos if you're watching on YouTube or other services, and guiding you through the solar system, space and astronomy. So let's get straight into it. Start off with, we look at our solar system. Easiest place to start with so we can look at what's around us, what's local to us. So a solar system is defined, or a general solar system is defined of a star with planets around it. Now the planets can be big planets like Jupiter or small planets like Pluto. They can be moons, asteroids, even comets can all play a role in a solar system. So it's really, really important to understand that. Solar systems are formed over millions and billions of years, and they start with the creation of the star, which is, in our case, Sol, the sun, and whatever the sun doesn't absorb, the rocks and dust and everything else, the gases and all that, create the planets that are around it, and it evolves from there. And over time, it changes, and just like our solar system has changed over the years. So things are changing all the time. So our solar system is a great place to start with. So where do we start? Well, let's start off with our sun. Hugely important thing. Center of our solar system, called Sol. It's the official name given to it, and that's where we are. And we're in the Milky Way galaxy, so quite small in compared to a galaxy. The sun, it's about the size of 1,000 Jupiters, and there's 1,200 Earths that fit in Jupiter. So the sun is massively, it's over 1.2 million times the size of the Earth. That's massively big and super cool. The temperature of the sun on the surface is 5,000 degrees. In the middle, it's well over 1,000,000 degrees Celsius, that is. And all that heat is expanded outwards in every direction. And the Earth only receives a small portion of that. And if the Earth wasn't in the Pacific area, which we call the habitable zone, then we wouldn't be here. So where the sun is and where we are, crucially important. How hot the sun is and where we are is crucially important for life on Earth. It consists mostly of hydrogen and helium. Now the sun isn't on fire. That's another thing that's really important. It's actually caused by nuclear explosions happening right in the core, and all that heat is generated out, and that's what makes it look like it's on fire, but it's not, because there's no oxygen for it to stay alight. But the fuel and the processing of nuclear fusion keeps it glowing, keeps it going at all times. Now, the sun not only generates heat and light, which is crucial to life on Earth, but it's also creating solar winds and other things to help life on Earth, and sends out huge amounts of different elements and other stuff into space. We only receive a tiny portion of that here on Earth. We receive it mostly in the way of solar flares occasionally, or which helps us get solar auroras. And we also get obviously the heat from the sunlight, and it helps us keep warm, and it gives us day and night with the help of the moon as well. Now, the planets. Now, we have several planets around our sun, including the Earth, which are crucially amazing. They're broken down into 3 subclasses. So you've got the terrestrial planets. Now, these are rock planets. That's Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Then you have the gas giants, which are Jupiter and Saturn. Then you have the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. And then you have dwarf planets, which are Pluto, Ceres, and then the asteroid belts and other things. But the planets, they're the 8 main ones: the terrestrial, the gas giants, and the ice giants. And they're all made up slightly differently, so they all have different aspects to them. And obviously, some have moons, some don't. Some have rings, some don't. They're all slightly different in different ways, which makes all quite unique, very, very important, and super cool. Dwarf planets, as I briefly mentioned, as another category, and the Kuiper Belt. Now, Pluto, Eris, and Human are 3 of the dwarf planets that are in the Kuiper Belt, but Pluto is unique because it comes out of the Kuiper Belt and sometimes closer than Neptune. And it keeps getting reclassified, and Pluto, because of that, is why it got reclassified, because it's not doing a normal orbit. It's changing its orbit. So sometimes it's closer than Neptune, sometimes it's further away in the Kuiper belt. That's why it got changed. And the Kuiper belt is hugely important significance, because that's where we believe we get a lot of meteorites, comets, and things like that from, because things crash into it and there's a reaction and it sends them off. And comets do go through there and they pick up other rocks and things like that, which makes them bigger, and then they burn up on the way round. So they decrease in size and all sorts of things happen. But all sorts of rocks and everything like that. And it's very, very important. Okay, going on. Comets and asteroids. The difference between a comet and an asteroid is floating around in space. So it's in a fixed orbit around the sun, like the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. They're fixed. They don't move. Where a comet does an orbit around the sun, but it changes. So it goes really close to the sun and then it goes really far away. Where an asteroid is fixed and it stays in the same orbit all the way around. That's the main difference between them. And the reason and obviously you got the tail from a comet, so you can see it going through space. Where an asteroid is just a little rock floating around. It's not moving. It is moving, but it's not moving as fast or as brightly as a comet would. A famous comet you probably all know about is Halley's Comet. Hugely important because they keep coming around every 80, 90, 100 years or so. And we can, because we know it's on a cycle, we know it's doing an orbit around the sun. So it's just like a planet, but a lot smaller. It's like a small rock going around, and we can monitor that, and it helps us keep a timeline of our orbits around the Earth, around the sun, and also around the universe. So they play significant roles. Also, you're also aware about the asteroids, that if they get hit and they do change orbits and they do things, bad things are going to happen. Look at what happened to the dinosaurs. Not very good at all, but it happens. We have to be monitoring them all the time. Now, we've tried to explore the solar system in our own little ways and everything like that. And humans, we're still taking baby steps. So we started off with the manned missions going to the moon and everything like that. So in the 1970s, we had great success. We did huge, amazing things. Now, things are changing. We've got rovers on Mars. We've got rovers on the moon. We've got rovers that have gone to Venus. We have an orbiter that is exploring the sun and can touch the outer corona of the sun, the outer edge of the sun. And it's about 5,000 degrees there. So it's able to take some of the temperatures and gives us readings and helps us understand a little bit more about the sun. So it's really, really cool. So we're expanding things all the time. We've also got the International Space Station to help us understand space better. And that's only possible because we've got inter-country cooperation. So the planet working together as one. And in order to explore space better, we all have to work together as one planet. And that's crucial. We have to work as a team. Otherwise, things will go bad. And we don't want things to go bad. And as you know, in the next 20, 30 years, Elon Musk, SpaceX, and other agencies around the world are looking at colonizing the moon and Mars. They're thinking of putting humans on there to live there permanently. So we are expanding our knowledge of our solar system, but not only are we expanding it, we're looking to live there as well. Super cool things are happening, and we're going to explore that throughout this series. The solar system's place in the universe. Well, we're quite young in the way of the universe. If we look at the Milky Way as our galaxy and the solar system in it, we've only orbited the galaxy, the Milky Way, about 40 times. So we're very, very young. So our sun, we take it as a galactic year, it's only 40 years old. But a human year, that's billions of years old. Our sun is nearly 4.5 billion years old. So it's changed a lot. So you got to think about these things. You think, God, really? The last time we were in this position in the Milky Way galaxy, in one orbit, was when the dinosaurs were alive. It's taken us that long to go around one galactic year. So we've got to think about these things. And not only that, now we're looking at, okay, we're one tiny little planet in a billion planets out there. Could there be life out there? Could there be other things out there that we don't know about? Definitely. We're learning about space all the time. And there's things that we still don't understand today, like what's inside the centre of a black hole. We don't know. There could be a little man with a flashlight, or it could be a giant thing, or it could be something completely different. We don't know. And that's what's really cool about space, is we're learning all the time. We are still in our infancy, our childlike status of understanding. Even though we're making massive steps in understanding better, we're still learning the basics. And we have a lot to learn. And I'm hoping with this series, I can teach you a little bit more, help inspire you, and help you to understand space a little bit better and enjoy space for what it is. It's a great thing. The next next podcast or video you'll watch, I'm going to go through each of the planets individually, the solar system, so the stars, the planets, and then I'll expand on from there, going deeper and more into depth about each different objects out there in space, from comets to asteroids, black holes, etc. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions or anything like that, please use the comments below, or go to Patreon. I have a service there that you can support and you can ask questions, and they'll be mentioned here online. I'll answer anything. The more questions I get, the better I can do for you. Please enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the next one, which will be talking about the sun. Take care.